Welcome back to Talk of the Town on WHTC, Holland's Cool FM, on WHTC.com, and on the WHTC app for your smartphone. Once again, here's your host, Gary Stevens.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town for this Wednesday, August the 12th. Second Wednesday of the month. At this time, we catch up with things going on with the Community Action House, and today we are very pleased to have back with us is the Director of Resale Operations for the Community Action House, James Smead, on the other side of our table. James, good morning. Welcome back, sir.
Good morning to you.
And if you have a question about not only the Action House, but resale, as we'll be talking a lot about that today, James will be happy to answer your question, 616-395-1450. Indeed, let's begin with the resale stores. When you were last with us, you were talking about the opening of the new resale store on the north side, and I would assume that things have gone well since it was opened earlier this spring.
Yes, things have gone well. So we opened our new resale store on the north side of Holland back in April, located at 650 Riley Street. It's our newest addition to our resale network. That is now 2 stores. It's a 10,000 square foot store, and things are going well.
What things on the north side has, well, I hate to put it in this phrase, but I will. Has there been something specific that has really gone well in terms of items that have literally flown off the shelves?
Well, I think the north side of Holland has really given us a warm welcome to the north side. It's been fantastic meeting the guests on the north side of Holland, and the donations have been plentiful in a wide array of things. I wouldn't say that any particular item has been donated in any greater form than the other. I would say that clothing sales have been going great at the north side, as well as they were at the south side before we closed that one down as well.
We'll talk about the south side in a few moments. I was just kind of wondering whether or not maybe, as you say, clothing obviously would be things, but perhaps a run on furniture or a run on toys or something like that. That's why I was asking that type of question.
Yeah, furniture has been doing really well at the north side too. So the north side Holland community has definitely been very generous with their furniture donations. So I've gotten a lot of great, gently used furniture that we're able to put back into the community. Bike donations have been going really great too, so a lot of nice, gently used bikes have been donated to us as well. So a lot of household goods, smaller electronics, pots and pans, that kind of thing. Toys have been coming in and going out really well as well. So I would say, a wide array of items have come in and gone really well.
Since last we talked, you mentioned at the time when we were talking about the opening of the north side store was that the south side store, which has been serving the community for a number of years as a way of generating funds for the Community Action House, was going to be closing for a little while. It has now since reopened, and I would assume that it got more than just a fresh paint job.
Yes. So our south store, we had been in that location for about 14, 15 years. And right before we closed it, it was getting a little tired. The roof had several leaks in it. It was kind of hard to donate goods there as we were using a makeshift ramp and a wooden deck to help donate at the back of the building, which also, dualed as a space for our delivery trucks to drop off. So that made it a little difficult. And the carpet was starting to tear inside. So, yeah, it got more than a paint job.
Okay, so tell us about the South Side store now that it is opened. What renovations exactly did have, and so what will people see when they go to it?
Yeah, so right now, as you mentioned, our store is open for donations right now. We do not have the sales floor open to the public yet, but we are open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. to take in donations at our donation canopy. So we put a new roof on the building. But most importantly, we were able to put a new donation canopy on the building. So on the north side of the building where we had always donated, we shifted the door up the building. You're now able to pull up underneath the canopy so you can stay dry when it's raining out. It's lit. We got a nice sliding door to bring in larger donations and meet the guests out by their car to take their stuff in now. So a much easier, more receptive way to donate at our Resale South store.
What are we looking at a target date for opening for retail purchases at the Southside store?
So our grand opening celebration for Resale South is August 28th and 29th. And we will have a bunch of giveaways and that kind of thing going on then. But I do want to announce that we are opening our resale store early to the public. Our team is ready to go. We're going to open this coming Monday the 17th at 10 a.m. to the public.
So it'll be a soft reopening, and then the big grand reopening will come the last weekend in August. Not Labor Day weekend, because the later Labor Day this year. If you have a question for James Smead, he is with Community Action House. He is the Resale Operations Director, 616-395-1450. Will there be some, or has, with the north side especially, but will there be some sort of, I wouldn't call it specials, but maybe a little bit of a spotlight on back-to-school items, be it clothes, be it school supplies, and the like?
Yeah, so I do want to throw out there that we do have plenty of school supplies ready to go on the shelves for when we open this next Monday. And yes, our clothing racks are full. And just like we run clothing sales at our north store, our south store runs the same cadence of clothing sales. So when we open the doors right away this coming Monday, we will have clothing sales in place. We will have $2 clothing available with different colored tags.
How tough is it? This is an operations question more than anything else. How tough is it to try to evaluate donations as terms of, yes, we can sell this, or no, we can't sell this? I'm talking, I'll talk about clothes specifically. Is it tough to try to make a guess, or not a guess, but an estimate, this thing will sell, or this thing is just not as gently used as we would like?
Yeah, so it's really not that difficult. We have a set of criteria that we have our team and volunteers go through that will help us determine whether or not a garment of clothing is able to be sold or needs to be recycled. So, certain things like if there's a tear in the fabric, if there's a stain on it, we automatically will recycle that. We will not sell that back to the public. So generally speaking, if the item is just gently used and is free of tears or stains, that article of clothing has, plenty of life left in it, and we can resell it to the community.
Yeah, clothing is one thing. When you mentioned about bicycles, I thought of another question. I wanted to wait until a natural way of bringing this up. It is one thing to get a donation of a bike that is pretty much ready to go. Move it from the donation center, from in to out in the store real fast. Other times, especially with bikes, maybe that needs a little work, a little repairs. Is that maybe if not your staff, maybe something that perhaps some people involved with the Action House might be willing to sort of refurbish a bike a little bit?
Yeah, so we're really, really blessed in a way that we have a large group of very skilled volunteers that refurbishes bikes for us. We have 100% volunteer effort in that regards, and any bike, regardless of what form it's in, whether the wheels are off of it, the chain's missing, bike pedals are missing, or if it's in a perfectly good order, our team of volunteers will disassemble them, re-grease them up, make sure that they're fine-tuned before we sell them back to the community or put them into our voucher program for guests as well.
Is it a little bit too early to be seeing donations of, say, electric bikes yet? Mostly, it's the old pedal powered ones, right?
Yeah. I mean, we do see really early on versions of electric bikes every now and then that come in with the really, really heavy portable battery packs. But no, we don't see any of the new e-bikes that you see running around. Okay. I was
wondering because, kids are going to want to have bicycles if they need to pedal to school. And, and I would think the adult-sized bikes and maybe the kid-sized bikes pretty much even in terms of what's in stock? Or are you seeing more of the kids' bikes that are still available? And if an adult bike comes in, they're in, they're out, in double time.
We have a wide range of bikes available, from 20-inch kids bikes to 24-inch kids bikes to 26-inch bikes. So I would say, yeah, we've got a wide range for everything. And all of them, do fly out at the same rate, but we have plenty of all.
Okay. I was asking because this is the time of year people, the back to school, and that's one of the things that will be a popular item over at the resale stores for the Community Action House. What items cannot be accepted at the Community Action House for resale?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we can't take bed mattresses that are over 5 years old. Mattresses that we do take have to have their tags on them still. We're unable to take large entertainment centers, large family desks that were popular back in the 90s, early 2000s. Can't take those. And we're not able to take baby furniture, bike helmets, car seats. For legal purposes, we're not able to resell those.
Those are the only ones. There's not, they're obviously, if it's a perishable item, it's not something that the resale store would be able to handle.
So if it's more convenient to donate perishable food items to us as opposed to taking them to the food pantry, they certainly can drop those off at both resale locations for us. We do have a team of volunteers and logistics drivers that drive to both locations that will pick that stuff up and take it back to our food clubs, so they can donate food to both our resale stores.
Another thing that I would think probably is a no-no is taking items that may have been used as a container for flammable liquids. I mean, somebody might say, hey, I got an old gas can or a plastic gas can. No, that's a no-no, too.
Right, yeah, we can't accept those as well.
Yeah, we don't want to have any explosive situations, if you know what I mean. If you have a question for James Smead with the Community Action House, 616-395-1450. While your responsibilities is with the resale operations in terms of handling it, what goes in, what goes out, and the like, what revenue is generated in those resale stores goes back into the Community Action House. Talk a little bit about what that money does when you sell an item and the money comes in. That really goes to do a lot of good for the community, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And that's what really excites me about the position that I have with this organization. So every single item of clothing, every pencil, pen that we sell, every pair of shoes that goes out the door, every bicycle that goes out the door, that money goes back into all of our programs that, helps create thousands of meals served, helps us with our financial wellness programs, helps us with our outreach team that meets our guests on the street where they're at. So every single dime goes back into the organization, which also stays right here in the community of Howland, which is really exciting.
Keep in mind, I want to emphasize this is a little different than maybe other entities that do resale stores, in the fact that there are entities that do a resale store where some of their guests or some of the people that are being helped by the entity actually have a hand in not only running, the operations of the store itself, but maybe has a hand in terms of rehabilitating products or rehabilitating donations, and a way for them to develop some of the skills. The Community Action House, I don't think, has that particular aspect of what it does, but it does help those who are guests or those who are helped by the Action House with the resale store in a different way. Tell us a little bit about how perhaps vouchers can help with those who are coming to the Action House for help in other ways. They can help with their budget, their bottom line, through the resale store.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, if a guest comes into our main hub and talks to our financial team, our guest services team, and they help them, meet them where they're at, and try to figure out how we can best get them back up on their feet or help them, propel them forward And as you mentioned, so what we have is a voucher program. And so we can help in various different ways. We can help them with getting them a voucher for back to school clothes, or help them with a voucher to get a bicycle so they're able to have transportation to get to and from work. We can help them with household goods with pots and pans so that they can furnish their kitchen. So there's various ways that we can go down different avenues. And what's really cool about the voucher program is it's pretty anonymous. So it acts just as like a gift card. So you can shop in the store next to somebody who's paying cash for something, and no one's going to know the difference. And what's really exciting, too, is you get to pick what you want. So you get to pick the pair of jeans that looks the best that you want. You get to pick the pots and pans set that you want, the dishes in the color that you want. You get to pick the bicycle that you want. So being able to have that will to choose what you want is really exciting and unique to us.
Yeah, that's why you answered that question well, James, because of the fact that this helps, the resale stores help more than just providing revenue for the Action House. It really helps those who the Action House really are helping.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so we have, and there's various other ways too. So we have the voucher program. We also have our refresh program too. So we have a close relationship with the Free United Methodist Church downtown. And through our volunteers and our associates in the back when we're processing through clothes, there are clothes and hygiene products that go directly to helping those guests as well.
James, you talked a little bit about the fact that people can come to the two resale stores, the North Side store, which is open right now, or the South Side store, which will be having a soft reopening on Monday. And they can buy items to help support the Action House with the revenue from those resales. And people can make donations at either spot for resale at the Action House. Another way people, I would think, be able to help in the resale stores is through human capital, helping hands. A lot of hands make light work of everything, and I would assume that's the case with the resale stores.
Yeah, that's correct. So really the three ways that community can help with our resale stores is 1, shop, 2, donate, and then 3, volunteer. And for sure, we cannot do that work without volunteers.
All right, let's get to the phone. 616-395-1450. Good morning. You're on the line with James Smead.
Well, another great show, Gary. Hey, some of us after service get together and solve the problems of the world, and, the resale shops came up one.
Uh-oh. Going to have to call me back because we just heard the famous click. So we'll get your call back, 616-395-1450. How can people help in terms of helping hands with the volunteer?
Yeah, so volunteering individually or volunteering as groups, once a month, once a week, all of that really helps. And again, we cannot do that work without volunteer help. So a lot of hands make light work. And you can find out more about volunteering by visiting us at communityactionhouse.org.
Communityactionhouse.org is the website. I think we might get our call back. Good morning. You're on the line with James Smead of the Action House. And goodbye. We'll have open line a little bit later. Okay. I think I'm going to allude to this. Maybe the caller was somewhat alluding to it, and something we've discussed in the past. The fact that the Action House now has will have two resale stores. There are many other entities that have resale stores, not only in the Holland Zeeland area, but throughout the West Michigan region. One might say, where's the saturation point? When do we have too many resale stores? You had a good answer when I brought this up earlier this year. I'm going to ask you to repeat it, if you don't mind, for many of our newer listeners.
Yeah, so in short, the answer is no. We're not at a saturation point for our resale stores. Most resale stores in the area, much like Community Action House, we work well with the other organizations in town that have resale stores themselves. And, we're not at that saturation point. And, a good point for resale stores is what one store has, another store doesn't have. And so you're going to find yourself going to multiple stores. to find exactly what you're looking for. Even in my 2 resale stores, I won't have the same items in both stores. So I might have a bike that you're looking for at the south store, but I'll have a couch that you're looking for at the north store because a community member donated the couch on the north side and somebody on the south side donated the bike there. So we're not anywhere as close to that point. And again, all the organizations in town work pretty well together.
Sounds a little like a garage sale. If somebody's going garage sailing, well, how many garage sales do you have to go to? Well, you might be able to find something you're looking for in that other garage sale. Or antiquing. We're going to go through antique stores. And sometimes one antique store will have something, another one will have something else. Same with the resale stores.
Exactly.
All right. That's keep that in mind. As many fine organizations do have resale stores, and they all need your support, and there apparently is enough room for everybody. Other things, well, let's finish up our conversation with James Smead, but I think our caller did call back, and hopefully the phone line will hold up. Good morning. You're on the line with James Smead.
Let's try this again. So my question was, and that was a good point about the oversaturation, but, when we were having our discussion there at our little gathering, one of the things that came up, especially amongst the ladies in the group, was that the prices of the resale shops are now on par with many of the big box stores. They're equal price. There's not the bargain, and Hollanders love a good bargain. But the bargains aren't there anymore. The prices are comparable or on par with the big box stores, where you can almost buy new. Many of the clothing items and furniture items. Of course, there's some good deals here and there, but you got to hit them stores almost daily. So, what's the cause of the higher pricing of the items? And I'll listen. And again, Gary, what a great show! Show.
All right, thank you very much for the call.
Yeah, that's a good point, and we do see that throughout West Michigan and in resale in general, right? And so I think what I'd like to point out for us is that, we do run sales consistently for our clothing, and there are those one-off items that, we would consider vintage or collectible that might hold a higher value than something else. But if it's a, everyday article of clothing or a pot and pan that will come through, we try to price that comparable in the market for what you would find in a resale environment or a garage environment. Yeah,
comparable in a resale environment, not comparable in a retail
correct
environment. Now, you mentioned about the grand reopening of the Southside resale store. Let's wrap up our conversation with that. When is the soft reopening? When is the grand reopening? Where the location is? And basically the nuts and bolts of that.
You got it. So Resale South, located at 694 Michigan Avenue on the south side of Holland. Reopening, soft opening, this coming Monday the 17th at 10 a.m. Will be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then our grand reopening is Friday and Saturday, August 28th and 29th. Very exciting things going on in the store those 2 days. One, the first 75 guests purchasing will receive a free tote bag. We also have a couple giveaways as well. So we are giving away 4 $75 gift cards, and we also have a really cool golden tag hunt with West Coast Cash that will be hidden throughout the store, both Friday and Saturday.
And West Coast Cash, of course, tied in with the Michigan West Coast Chamber of Commerce. Hours of the South and North Side store, what are the regular hours?
Yep, regular hours open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We take donations at both locations 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And that will be Monday through Saturday?
That's correct.
And then Sunday?
We are closed on Sundays.
Okay, just want to make sure people do know about those hours. More information not only on the resale stores, but everything that the Community Action House does have to offer. Go online, communityactionhouse.org, communityactionhouse.org. James Smead, Director of Resale Operations with Community Action House. Thank you very much for stopping by, telling us what's going on. Wish you and everybody at the Action House well. Look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
Thank you very much, James Smead, on WHTC, Holland's Cool FM. NBC News, Michael Kastner, straight ahead, followed by WHTC News. More talk of the town after the break on WHTC, Holland's Cool FM.